Congratulations on securing your spot as one of the 50 exclusive people to get access to this video, where I show you how you too can leverage on the sneaky Netflix algorithm to create fresh daily income streams by the end of this presentation. I am very happy for you because I know your life will be totally transformed after you watch this video till the very end. For now, back to the exciting part. Our story begins when a renegade scientist escaped Netflix's clutches and revealed a stunning principle, changing the face of money-making online forever. So here's the sordid tale. A few years ago, I was a struggling journalist for one of the small newspaper and media streaming companies. Got a few scoops, made a few headlines, was decent at my otherwise dead-end job. However, I was in the smothering grip of anxiety all the time. Have you ever had trouble sometimes sleeping at night? Are you worried about escalating bills, creditor calls, and where your next paycheck is coming from? Believe me, I'd been there. I recall enduring multiple panic attacks when I was down to my last $1.81 or so, until my salary gets banked in a nick of time. And that repeated itself over and over and over again. A vicious cycle of nerve-wracking deficits and just-in-time bailouts. Always surviving but never thriving. It was downright exhausting. However, that all changed with what happened next. My lucky break came when I wrote a story for my then company, and it was almost pushed into original content. I remembered the exhilarating chill when I submitted it to my boss, and I knew that it was my moment of glory. Needless to say, I put my heart and soul into the story. It was extremely well received. I even envisioned awards or better job offers elsewhere. However, to my dismay, my lousy editor took all the credit and cast me aside, like he did so many times before. Discouraged, I took solace that I was the only one who did all the work. But honestly, it was just to console myself. What he did was absolutely disgusting. Thank God the story doesn't end there. A few days later, I received a mysterious email from what was obviously a pseudonym, Mr. X. He was one of the data analysts working for Netflix, and he apparently got a hold of my story from an insider from my company. He knew I was unhappy with my job and wanted to help. He claimed he had an explosive secret that could topple the balance. Don't you wish you'd even get a fraction of that income? Well, you're about to hear good news. Mr. X was fed up that Netflix and all the other big boys were making a bundle as everyone else suffers, all while the next recession lurks like a ravenous monster waiting to pounce. His conscience was eating him alive. He needed to do something about it. And that's why he reached out for me to write a tell-all expose. At the start, I was excited to jump in. After all, who doesn't like a classic David and Goliath story? Then after some deep thought, I realized that publishing that article wasn't an option at all. For starters, I would have had my pantsuit off. Worse, I would have gone to jail and lost everything over a job I wasn't that passionate about. I would have been discarded like yesterday's news. Pun intended on that one. While I admit the revelations were compelling, with my lousy salary, it simply wasn't worth the risk. Mr. X sounded despondent at my response. He excused himself and stood up to leave. However, just as he was about to retreat back to whichever hellhole he came from, I experienced an unexpected flash of genius. I gripped him by the wrist and urged him to sit back down. I asked him, instead of going public with the story, why don't we leverage the potent Netflix algorithm for ourselves and actually make bank? If our venture succeeds, then we could help the average hardworking person to start taking charge of their lives and enjoy financial freedom. Mr. X's brow furrowed a little, obviously deep in thought, as if he was calculating all the probabilities of my statement. After a tense few moments of silence, his face cracked into an admittedly unsettling grin as he proclaimed, "That's a splendid idea." He sounded almost gleeful. I mean, why should Netflix have all the fun? What better revenge than to empower the people to make that level of income and to stick it to all these tech giants? A firm handshake later, we were in business. Just like that. Now, if our venture succeeded, so much was at stake for you. Imagine being able to fire your boss without being held ransom by your salary. Imagine being able to take care of yourself and your family when the economy inevitably tanks. Imagine being able to break free of the shackles of debt at lightning speed. So we went for a dry run. We used the Netflix algorithm on our first affiliate site. We were trembling, thinking, what if we got it wrong? Alas, if our experiment were to fail, people's dreams will go unfulfilled. They will remain unengaged with their workplace. They'll be doomed to a life of mediocrity. Instead, when the results came, we were flabbergasted. In our very first hour after launch, we made $112. On our first day, we clocked $332. And the money kept flowing into our bank account like a raging river after a storm. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Hour after hour, day after day, week after week, all in all. This algorithm helped us crack 4 figures in our very first month starting from scratch. with no list, JVs, and tech expertise. That is not a lot of money, to be frank, but still, that means we found something that works for the ordinary man that could scale infinitely. Mr. X and I looked at each other. Our jaws fell right to the floor. In fact, we actually had to pick them up multiple times during that time. The results were indeed promising. But true to Mr. X's training, he needed more data in order to make sure. We agreed to try replicating these results with a selected group of people. Everyday hardworking people from different non-tech industries who hate their jobs, unhappy with their life, and craved multiple income streams. To make the money-making process so easy a child could follow, Mr. X himself built the first prototype of software tools that leveraged this algorithm, so that they didn't have to learn code or any tech expertise. It was then I who learned he wasn't just a data scientist, he was a top-flight Python programmer as well. However, this month didn't go as smoothly as we wanted. There were learning curves, and being in a beta test stage, the software malfunctioned several times. There was also an unfortunate case of a participant's Siamese cat who peed on our laptop and shorted the motherboard. We nearly gave up. But guess what? We blazed through these obstacles and we started seeing everyday ordinary people with no tech expertise reaping extraordinary reward. Take one of my students, Carol from North Carolina, who's a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids. Here is her brand new fresh account. This is day 0, before activating the secret algorithm within our software. It's all zeros to start, nothing fancy. The next day she turned on the secret algorithm in the software and went to bed. She left it on for 48 hours, and out pops a commission of $44.19 in one day, and a whopping $466.14 on day 2. Just as she thought that was all for day 2, she logs back into her account, and out pops an additional $398.78. Totaling her day 2's income of $864.92. Now, how's that for a change? Like many others, sometimes we get so caught up with the kids, household chores, work, or duties, we forget our side hustles. Carol logged in 2 days later, and on day 4, it showed a commission of $444.67 and $1,332.52 on day 4. That's a total of $2,691.71 in 4 days upon activating the software. Some people will work their butts off from 9 to 5 just to make that money. Best of all, these were all made on autopilot while Carol was home with the kids. Fast forward 2 weeks later, this is what her account looks like. More $500 days and even $1,000 days, totaling an extra $3,612.21 made the next week. The final result? The lump sum payment of $6,368.71 deposited straight into her bank account in 2 weeks. Carol is now letting the system run on its own and enjoying the life of fun and freedom she deserves. The more you're reading this, the more excited you should get. Because in a moment, I'm going to give you access to the Netflix algorithm that enabled Carol to generate the almighty dollar at will. The very same step-by-step shortcut that has created cash flow and massive wealth for the people in my group. Are you ready? Data scientists call this secret MCCA, a remarkable acronym that stands for Micro Commitment Consistency Compounding Algorithm. Sounds like a mouthful, doesn't it? Don't worry, I won't bore you with the technical mumbo-jumbo and show you how this is the very reason you've watched so far. Because by exploiting this loophole, you're going to start creating cash injections, ranging from $27 for a simple bill payment, or even $997 for something that was on your wish list but was out of reach, till now that is. At the very core, the MCCA algorithm combines quirks of cognitive science, human behavior, and the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. In case you're wondering why the machines are so ingrained with what seems to be low-tech human stuff, you'll be surprised to know that all tech giants hire anthropologists. In fact, Microsoft is the second largest employer of human behavioral scientists in the world. That's because the more software understands humanity and what makes us tick, the more stuff they can sell to us since they know how to push all the right buttons. Therefore, the more buttons they push, the more money they make. How insidious. Yet when you understand this, you not only understand how Netflix makes its billions, but how you can apply it and start creating the high life for yourself. Because you see, the other tech giants also leverage MCCA to create astonishing returns. Apple iTunes makes $9.55 billion, up 31.5% in just a year. Spotify makes $1.36 billion, up 30.7% in just a year. Amazon Prime made $3.2 billion, up 44.5% in just 1 year. The crazy thing unifying them all was the growth in the 30 to 50% range, eclipsing all other divisions. Imagine what a 30% raise in income can do for you. And in case you might be wondering, with all these dizzying amounts of zeros, What does it all have to do with little old me? You may say, I don't have that firepower, I'm not that smart. But do you want to know something crazy? A 7-year-old used MCCA to make him $22 million a year. So if a 7-year-old can do it, you can too. I'll touch on that incredible story in a minute, but for now, picture this. Doesn't checking your mailbox and seeing a stack of white envelopes fill you with angst? Don't you sometimes imagine, wouldn't it be awesome if I got a check in the mail for once? The good news is with MCCA, you can. And not just a measly daily check, mind you, but multiple payments every hour. Startled? Not when you get it. You see, by knowing how MCCA works, by breaking down these components, you'll inevitably unleash a ferocious income stream the likes of which you'd never seen. Have you started stirring yet? Without further ado, you're about to uncover component number 1, micro-commitment, the ultimate secret to transform sloths into sales. Listen, people are scared of commitment, like an irresponsible man running away from a marriage after a very long engagement. And that's one of the main reasons you're not as successful as you'd like to be. The government is not committed to you. Corporations are not committed to you. Certainly, the fat cats at Wall Street are not committed to you. They look at you as a dollar sign, a cog in the machine, a pawn to be used, a source of manipulation. As a result of that, you hit a ceiling every time you want to make something of yourself. In a minute, I will tell you how to turn the tables against them. But in the meantime, I have something important to reveal. This lack of responsibility is the very reason your company is screwing you. Do you remember when you first started out, so fresh and vibrant in the workforce, so filled with hope? You put in the hours, you propose new ideas, you attempt to build a great relationship with the boss whom you consider a mentor. And then suddenly you bang your head against a glass ceiling, and again, and again. Disappointment after disappointment, dashed dreams of promotion. What's left? A deep sense of jadedness, a proclamation. Why should I care if my company doesn't care? That's why you need to go into business for yourself. Here's an interesting personal case study from my life. It shows you how to transform this ugly human quirk into a way to give you money hand over fist. A few months ago, my wife Carolyn received a phone call from her alma mater asking for a donation. Here's the twist. They didn't ask for the donation outright. Instead, they asked if she'd be willing to donate money to the university sometime in the future. Since there wasn't a catch, she agreed and forgot about the call. Around 25 days later, an official-looking invoice for $175 from the university appeared in the mail. It said, here is your $175 commitment. You can send your check via the enclosed envelope. Even though at that time money was tight since Carolyn was just starting out, she sent a check anyway. After all, who likes to break promises they've made? In the same manner, Netflix has discovered a way to get otherwise stubborn people to take action. It was just to take a small upfront fee, a micro-commitment. In fact, when customers are offered a fair, smaller price, they're a whopping 83% more likely to make that purchase. That's one of the key cogs to the MCCA mechanism that Netflix has pioneered. And that's how Netflix grew so fast and outpaced their rivals like HBO, CNBC, and ABC. This is the same mechanism that will power your efforts to achieve your fantasy life. In a short while, your life change will be revealed soon. When Netflix paired it with the next component in the algorithm, it becomes insanely powerful. They call it number 2, consistency bias. The stupendous reason why 7-year-olds are making 7 figures. Here's an example close to home. Have you ever watched a terrible movie? The movie trailers look promising, but when you watch the full movie, you're shocked at how horrible it was. Yet, did you surprise yourself by not walking out of the theater? I mean, it was an obvious time waster, but you still stayed on till the freaking end. You actually chose to subject yourself to the agony of bad acting, nonsensical twists, and that head-scratching ending. Here's the crazy part. You're actually not the only one. All the way back in 1933, Soviet scientist Bluma Zygarnik discovered an active human trait. That's once you start something, it's very hard to stop. This mental quirk can make you tons of money. You'll get clients who once bought from you at a lower rate, and then they keep buying from you over and over again. Here's an astonishing stat. Netflix has studied that once someone took on the free trial and paid the first month, they stayed on for another crazy 25 months. That means they're making $291 a customer for life. Now you multiply that with the 137 million subscribers they have, that adds up to a heck of a lot of cheese. In fact, this consistency bias is what drives other billion-dollar giants. And here's the important bit. Mr. X and I are about to show you the very same power to create an unending line of repeat customers that leads to repeat profits. Meaning you could live the life of an Instagram travel nomad, traveling to beautiful destinations and meeting even more beautiful companions without even thinking how you're going to pay for it. How awesome is that? Finally, here's the most powerful component of them all. Number 3, compounding revenues, the quickest, easiest path to untold wealth or even welcome pocket change. If you want to create a true lifestyle business, you need monthly, dependable income, aka continuity income. Let's get real. It's great to sell one-off products, whether it's an ebook, a course, a coaching session, or a physical e-commerce product, but you're literally living sale to sale. Without monthly recurring revenue, you start the first of each month back at zero. You can't accurately predict your future sales, and you still have overhead, which leads to lots of stress. When you have a business with members or customers paying you each and every month, membership site, newsletter, subscription program, etc., you have dependable income. But here's where it gets nuts. When you increase customers month to month, the results create a compounding effect, a snowball of ever-increasing cash. Hold on to your hat. Let's do the amazing math with all 3 MCCA components in play. Since Netflix doesn't really disclose data, so let's use another site. BarkBox makes a monthly box of toys and treats for your pet. They charge $25 a month for their box every month. $25 is cheap. $25 is impulse purchase range. $25 is a lot less than people spend on their pets regularly. That's the micro commitment we're talking about. Since if they ask for that $300 up front, many people would think twice about paying that much money at one time. But at $25, that's micro commitment territory. Let's say in the beginning of BarkBox that 150 people signed up. That's $3,750 in revenue. If 90% of the people who ordered are happy with BarkBox, they will stay on for the next month. That's the consistency bias component at work. That means BarkBox knows for sure it has at least 135 paying customers who will buy their box next month. They had to do no extra selling, no extra promotion, no extra advertising. Imagine saying goodbye to scrimp, saving, and trying to fish out air and coins from under the sofa just to make ends meet. Because here's the model. If BarkBox can get an additional 150 people signed up to their monthly service, it's even better because they make extra revenue. Check out the model. $25 a month with 150 subscribers equals $3,750 per month. $25 per month with 300 subscribers, $7,500 per month. $25 per month with 500 subscribers, $12,500 per month. $25 per month with 1,000 subscribers, $25,000 per month. $25 per month with 5,000 subscribers, $125,000 per month. $25 per month with 10,000 subscribers equals $250,000 per month. Let's say BarkBox gets to 10,000 subscribers per month and keeps the average person on board for 12 months. That's $3 million a year in revenue just from a monthly subscription. What can $3 million a year do for you? Wow! I mean, let's not even get this ambitious. What can $300,000 do for you? Or even $30,000? A lot, I bet you. So you might be thinking, these are well-funded giant startups. What does it have to do with me? Well, the short answer is that MCCA is so easy that even a 7-year-old can do it, provided you know what to do. No joke. Presenting the curious case of the $22 million 7-year-old. Like many 7-year-olds, Ryan likes to play with toys. Lots of toys. However, Ryan has a YouTube channel with about 4 million subscribers who tune in to see what he thinks of those toys. That makes him a social media influencer, and a very wealthy one at that. According to Forbes magazine, Ryan of Ryan's Toys Review was the highest earning YouTube star last year, ranking in a whopping $22 million. The reason why? The little kid subscribed to his channel by merely clicking on the red button, micro commitment, stayed on to watch his videos, consistency bias, and then making more and more moolah as his subscriber count increased, compounding revenues. So imagine the implications when you break it down. An annual return of $22 million means an unbelievable $1,840,000 a month, $423,077 a week, $60,274 a day, $2,511 an hour. Are you starting to see how powerful MCCA is? Envision $2,511 getting siphoned into your account on autopilot every 60 minutes. When you play Spider-Man on PS4 weaving through enemy battles, $2,511. When you spend an extended time at the loo because you're reading a compelling book, $2,511. When you leave for a nice steak and wine dinner, $2,511. And then 21 hours to go, and $52,731 to go. That could be more than your annual salary in just a single day. What an amazing lifestyle, right? With what I'm about to reveal, it's entirely possible. And here's where it gets better. In a space of a few years, Mr. X and I discovered other people who discovered MCCA on their own, even though they may not have the language or tools for it. Yet despite these limitations, these everyday people are enjoying recurring revenues with compounding returns. Indeed, they brought in the bacon, pounds of it. These include such as,
Hey, it's Mary. In the past, it was a real struggle to keep up with the monthly bills and housing rent with my tiny salary, and I've been searching tirelessly to make an extra income online. However, time and time again, I was disappointed with the results they promised. However, this all changed after I stumbled upon the Perpetual Income 365 software. The software is so easy to use. Literally by pressing a few buttons, everything was plugged in and done for me. Sean and his team have made it so easy. Even someone like me who is a non-tech person could make an income from it. Upon activating the system, I made just over $428.17 on my first day. Best part, the income is perpetual and it recurs on a monthly basis. Now, I no longer have to depend on my mediocre job. Thank you, Sean, for this wonderful blessing for me and my family.
Sean asked me to make a quick testimonial about the Perpetual Income 365 program. I'm not going to ramble on and on about the benefits it has brought me because the list would go on and on. I'm just going to make it really short. This software works. And when I say it works, I'm not talking about those pennies you make after spending thousands of dollars on stuff that doesn't work. I'm talking about big, daily, recurring income. Yes, exactly. Getting paid 365 days around the clock, just as the software names it. It has replaced my job, brought me to places in the world I never thought I would go. I get to spend more time with my daughter and loved ones. In a nutshell, Perpetual Income 365 is probably the most powerful system I've ever used. I have never seen anything like it. Sometimes I actually feel like it's just too good to be true. Well, this is my reality, so take my word for it. Sign up now and you won't regret it. I promise you. So thanks, Sean.
After doing in-depth interviews, we incorporated their strategies into our software, further refining the model. So coupled with numerous success stories and tweaking the algorithm for everyday use, for the first time ever, announcing Perpetual Income 365, the ultimate MCCA tool to leverage the power of recurring income for mega profits and lifelong income. Without the pain from starting from scratch, eliminating the headaches of false starts, you'll now get the lifestyle business of your dreams. A second income that never runs dry. You can work at home, from a cafe, on a beach. The sky's really the limit, and get paid. And when you choose to, you can opt to play. Paint the town red. Party the night away, dance into a hedonistic haze, and still get paid. Perpetual Income 365 is a 3-part package. The MCCA Toolbox, an upgraded and refined version of the software tools created by Mr. X to put the MCCA money-making mechanism to work for you. Push Button Bounty, the potent knowledge to fully leverage these tools to rip open a tear in the universe of abundance. One-click content stack. Solve the tricky problem of content creation with our pre-automated contents so you can grow your subscriber honeypot in droves without any headache. The very first tool aims to solve your biggest problem implementing MCCA, and that's the chronic lack of time. Just imagine, you're stressed out at work the whole day. Rain greets you in the morning and roads are congested. You have a shouting match with your useless colleague. A client screams in your face. The boss gets in your grill. Finally, it's the end of the day and you've breathed a deep sigh of relief. Alas, you endure another agonizing round of bumper traffic on the way home. So by the time you're home, you're pooped. Unless you're a cybernetically enhanced Navy SEAL, there's no way to muster the energy to do a lick more. Who would blame you if you can only exert enough strength to watch TV or escape via some battle royale fad like Fortnite or PUBG? Here's the good news. With Perpetual Income 365, you'll get Part 1, the MCCA Toolbox, where 91.3% of the heavy lifting is done for you. That's why you're experiencing no monthly fees for page builders, done for you. No hosting, done for you. No domain, done for you. No coding skills, done for you. No landing pages, done for you. No sales letters or email copywriting skills, done for you. No expensive link tracking tool, done for you. No complicated autoresponder integration. Done for you. Granted, you need to squeeze in a little bit of effort, but that goes a long, long way. It's like buying one of those just add water cake mixes you buy off the grocery shelf. While you still need to pour in the liquid to the mixture, the results far exceed the effort you have put in. After all, isn't it sad that you put in all those hours for your ungrateful company, and you'd only get a stingy 1% raise for your trouble? Meanwhile, the CEO rakes in the profit off your back with his unfair and ridiculous compensation plan. Isn't it time to start working for yourself and taking control of your financial destiny? Here's another vital thing that Perpetual 365 empowers you to do, and that is part number 2, push button bounty. The quickest, easiest way to get a recurring revenue MCCA asset with zero skills needed. Here's why that's probably the best thing you'd ever hear. You see, when it comes to a successful subscription model, you need to master a variety of different skills that are not easily acquired from scratch. Let me give you an example. If you're LeBron James from the NBA, you'd know that basketball isn't just shooting a Spalding through a hoop. If that was the case, LeBron wouldn't have spent a whopping $1.1 million a year just on his body. Nope, you need to learn dribbling, passing, jumping height, the coach's plays. Every single one of them has its own learning curve. In the same manner, just to set up a simple membership site requires you to possess these skills: niche selection, web design and setup, graphic design, content creation, direct response copywriting, traffic, and conversion. Doesn't that sound intimidating? Because the cool thing is, with Perpetual Income, you can start with zero ability. You don't need to spend endless evenings wading through the confusing muck of information. That's because we're downloading our best practices directly to your brain via professionally clear-to-understand videos. And when set up properly, you're literally yielding dividends at a push of a button. One final, crucially important point. Component 3, one-click content stack. You can kiss excruciating content creation goodbye. Trust me, this is probably the most valuable addition to the package. Content is essential. Without it, MCCA membership sites won't work. In addition, not many things can get you 7.5 times ROI or creates a 53% additional chance to buy more from you. However, it's hard. Taking your tired brain after a hard day's work to generate content for your site can be downright brutal. The tyranny of the empty screen. Your brain hurts. Your energy squeezed dry like a lemon. And still it all comes to vain. That's why we want to make it as easy for you as possible. By adding in a done-for-you, hand-picked 30 days email newsletter to boost your perpetual income, which means your MCCA site will do the selling by itself for 30 straight days without you lifting another finger. All software programmed to be added into your account with a click of your mouse. You don't even need to open another tab. Everything is done in a push-button method. Sean, how much is it? What about hiring someone to do it for you? Well, you can do the math. Netflix spent around $5.3 billion on MCCA infrastructure to date, but they're in another league, so that's probably not the fairest of comparisons. However, even a simple done-for-you membership site costs you at least $6,150 in fees, and that's just the industry average, all for an entry-level site that you don't know if it will even succeed. And even if you have ready-made solutions, the content creation part will kill you. I mean, most top-flight copywriters charge at least $15,000. An entry-level copywriter charges $5,000. So you could spend $5,000 on just one solitary sales letter with no guarantees of success. Alternatively, you could spend $3,500 on a membership site course. While you may learn a thing or two, you still need to use considerable elbow grease, while spending a pretty penny to get things set up anyway. Perpetual Income 365 is far more affordable, and you get all the benefits for pennies on the dollar. Here's a friendly warning. Don't get me started on the chilling sunk costs of getting things wrong. The industry is filled with the corpses of failed marketers who made grave yet perfectly avoidable mistakes. Trial and error can be brutal. Imagine using your hard-earned money, which you had put away for something else, struggling all those late nights and battling different gremlins. And then with every last ounce of blood, sweat, and tears, you launch with great hope and expectations. Alas, all you hear are crickets chirping. You just bombed. What a shame. You're still in the same place where you started, when all you need to do to start making money was just one click away. Perpetual Income 365 works on the premise that you don't need to do a lot of work to get a lot of results. Better still, it's a fraction of what you pay for all the things above. You definitely won't be splashing $6,000. That's industry average for a customized membership program. Or $5,000 for a content creator or beginner copywriter. You won't even be paying $3,000 for a course on recurring revenue, even though that's probably worth it. You're not even investing $394, which is the retail value of the bonuses alone. I'll reveal the shockingly low investment in a minute. Now imagine using the MCCA Toolbox software. And after devouring the value-packed videos, you'll start glancing. Every single time you log into your online account, you see fresh new funds deposited daily. A $94.51 deposit here. A $564 deposit there. A smattering of a few $100 every now and then. How would you feel? How overjoyed will you get? The more you're watching this, the more convinced you are Perpetual Income 365 will take your lifestyle to stratospheric heights. Because Mr. X and I want more and more people to become their own mini Netflix. We want to spread this message to as many as possible. And here's the background of why we're giving you this limited time offer. Mr. X and I have set a massive goal. We committed ourselves to helping at least 20,000 people in the workforce to get wealthy and leave the rat race behind. Since then, I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs quit their jobs, fire their boss, and start making boatloads of cash. Yes, I thought getting people to fulfill their full income potential was a great start, but what truly fulfills me is when these miracles happen to you. No more feeling like a loser because of a hole in the pocket. No more resentment from getting walled outside the top 1%. No more stupid grin and bear it advice as you're dying inside. The bottom line, I decided that I absolutely need to let as many folks as possible join in this cause. A cause I call the Perpetual Player Movement. The good news? That means a much lower price for you because I don't want finances to stop anyone. So let's add you to the cause, starting right now. That means today you will not be paying the retail value. Not even $497, which is the worth of the bonuses. Not even close. In fact, your investment is an affordable one-off server fee, and then only a small cost a month thereafter. The price you see today is 90% off the retail price for any such software out there, if there even is one to begin with. So why the small monthly fee thereafter? The two services combined cost me around $2,000 a month to maintain, but I'm going to give to you at this tiny price. It covers the hefty monthly costs required to maintain the server and upgrade the software for you to enjoy fresh upgrades and maintenance your site every month. See it as fuel to the car. For you, it's just a small cost a month to own a business like that. 1. Could generate you $100 days starting today. 2. Is fully automated and runs on its own. 95% of the work is done for you. In 30 days, that breaks down to a measly $1.25 a day. For the price of a stinking bagel, you'll be getting the doorway to a life filled with freedom and adventure. Why work for acknowledgement from that jerk boss who doesn't appreciate it? Really, when you can now generate your own job promotions. Heck, you can create what the best version of life looks like for you, with no bounds. All this while your MCCA machines keep generating income for you. Won't you agree this tiny investment will be worth the impact? Just promise me you'll write a glowing testimonial once you've went through the systems and went through the nearly effortless tools. Perpetual Income 365 really works, and it will work for you. But you don't have to take my word for it. Mr. X and I are so convinced that this money-making miracle is the quickest, easiest way to create life-changing income, we want you to try Perpetual Income 365 with zero risk. In fact, we're offering something unprecedented. We call it the Make More Money Guarantee. The ultimate ironclad agreement that if you don't make money with our MCCA software in the next 60 days after applying what we taught, we don't deserve to take your money. No tricks, loopholes, or fine print. Here's how it works. Add to cart your limited time copy of Perpetual Income 365 today. Immediately, in a few simple clicks of the button, your own MCCA page is up. Beam in pride as you've just created your very first web asset that will generate you income to come forever. All thanks to the secret Netflix algorithm that works for you. Draw a line in the sand because you've just taken your first step to financial freedom. And then in a matter of weeks, you'll be dazzled by the results. Start by enjoying that ding notification on your phone that said another sale came in every couple of minutes. Binge watch Netflix. Oh, the irony. Play Red Dead Redemption 2, or just chill out in an exotic sandy location in the Caribbean when your reoccurring machine is working hard to make you 4 figures in under 2 months. Congratulations. You've just become a part of the inner circle of perpetual players. But for whatever reason that doesn't happen to you, if you don't do a double take because you can't believe how rapidly your bank account has fattened, or if for whatever reason you aren't making money with us, simply drop us a mail and we'll give you back every penny, no questions asked. Because if your economic status hasn't changed, we don't want your money. And remember why we call this the Make More Money Guarantee? Because if you don't make cash in 60 days, you can request a refund. No questions asked. So on those bad days that make you hate life more than usual, if you end up looking back, regretting that you didn't take that opportunity to change your life years ago, that you didn't get into Bitcoin far earlier when it sold in cents and cashing out at its height of $20,000, or invested in weed stocks and enjoyed crazy 900% returns, or took that cushy job instead of the current sucky one, beating yourself up because of course you could see it coming. I gently urge you, please stop. Because here's the best news of all. Perpetual Income 365 helps you make up for lost time while giving you an automatic income machine for years on end. With just a few clicks of the button, you'll get access to the very same PCMA mechanism that Netflix is using to make bank. Look below this video right now. Click on the button below to claim your discounted price now. And to sweeten the pot, here's $997 worth of bonuses. Bonus 1. Reoccurring Revenue Master Plan, $497. Scale yourself a superstar business. So, after you start making $200 a month, you'll start paying off some bills, buy a PS4 game or two, have a nice meal out once in a while. That's great. If that's what you're content with, which I hope not. If you're even catching a glance at those internet millionaires who drive fancy cars and go for exotic vacations, then maybe it's time to level up. The good news is, with the Recurring Revenue Master Plan, you'll get exactly that. This is when your $200 becomes $2,000 or even $20,000. All with the blueprint I'm about to show you. Bonus 2. Tiny subscriptions, big profits. $499. Discover how small, tiny subscriptions can massively create an avalanche of wealth starting today. Did you know you don't need a big list in order to make money? In fact, people are able to make 5, even 6 or 7 figures from lists of only a couple hundred people. However, you need to know how. There are highly specific techniques that only the major players know in order to squeeze extreme value from extremely tiny assets. Here's where Perpetual Income 365 comes into play. We reveal the secrets the big boys are using. Simply click on the shiny orange button below to get access to your very own Perpetual Income 365 software today. And if that's not enough, when you act before this presentation ends, you get yet another free gift for you worth $197. We present to you Fast Action Bonus number 3, Income Commander Master Guide, worth $197. You may be thinking, I really need money soon. There's so many bills to pay, yet I'm no guru. I have nothing. What if Mr. X and I gave you a quick start containing a detailed step-by-step, day-by-day guide? You'll already start seeing income flowing into the bank. On your marks, get set, profit. Yet today, if you act now, you'll get a personal access into the Perpetual Income 365 software, and all 3 free bonus gifts are yours for just the cost of a small one-time server fee. Remember, it's not just a great bargain you're getting today. You'll be joining in on the Perpetual Players movement. You'll get instant access to Perpetual Income 365. All you need to do is click on the button, then fill in your details. Now, one last question. Do you feel aimless? How's this for a purpose? To make as much money as you can, as quickly as possible, to withstand the coming lean years, and to be the best person you can be. This is one of those watershed moments in your life. 3 paths lie before you. 1. You can bury your head in the sand. Look, let me level with you. You know deep down that the job you hate isn't magically going to transform into the gig of your dreams. Employment is also not a sure thing in the current economy. After all, no less than an authority in Morgan Stanley has said a recession is coming really soon. So if you were intent on making a change, why not plunge in now? With the Make More Money, Money Back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Alternatively, 2. You can try and figure all this out on your own. Really, just YouTube continuity program and witness a fire hose of information spurt out. You could literally drown in all that conflicting advice. And that's just one method. You could be doing all that and crash and burn in a train wreck of misinformation and outdated advice. On the flip side, why not embrace a proven method based on the amazing MCCA principles that isn't exactly public domain until today, and join the perpetual player revolution? This is where 3. You can finally take control of your bank account and your life. Picture this. On one hand, you're scaling the heights of Machu Picchu, walking the streets of Paris, or lacing on the white sands of Phuket. On the other hand, you could simply be chilling at home, deeply engaged in the hobby you've never had time for. Your choice, your rules. Avoiding the bumper-to-bumper traffic, the blood-boiling office politics, the tiring colleagues, the horrible boss, the 2% raises. All while money is shoveled into your bank account like clockwork, thanks to the Perpetual Income membership. Frankly, only one of these choices makes any sense at all. I encourage you, for your own sake, enjoy the additional $100, $200, and eventually thousands that can be added to your bank account. What does an additional 4 or 5 figures a month mean for your lifestyle? Hundreds are already enjoying the Perpetual Players experience. All you have to do is click on the button below to gain exclusive access and get started today. It will take you to our secure reservation page where you can start making money in the next 24 hours. This is only going to be offered for a limited time because Mr. X's incriminating information could cause Netflix to take it down at any minute, so please don't delay. Click on the bright orange button below now. This is Sean signing off. I'll see you on the other side.